strapped in tight, ready, V8 symphony humming, tires screeching, engine screaming, speed demons coming. Gasoline guzzling, straight moving, track bruising, in the premium stock car, never losing. Pit crew wizards, quick as wizards, slick precision. Seconds matter, clock ticking, tight decisions. Drafting close, slingshot ghost, high speed ballet. Sipping victory, toast to champ, champagne spray. Fast lane, checkered flags, racing through the turns. Pedal to the metal, feel the rubber burn. Crowd roars, engine soar, high stakes, high gear. Champions breathing, destiny's near. Grid start, hearts pound seconds before eruption. Adrenaline and steel, the perfect conjunction. Lap after lap, sweat drips, visor fogging. Fame and glory wait for no one's dogging. Tunnel vision, apex hunting, blind to the herd. Opponents tailgating, pace firing absurd. Finally tuned monster, horsepower XL. Steering wheels grip like the gates to hell. Fast lanes, checkered flags, racing through the turns. Pedal to the metal, feel the rubber burn. Crowd roars, engine soar, high stakes, high gear. Champions breathing, destiny's near.
Hey guys, my name is Harley with Prestige Enterprises. Not only are we a proud sponsor of the Powerhouse Motorsports, we're also proud to be one of the sponsors for Premier Stock Car Racing League. We provide our services to over 70% of the US and we have a wide range of services, but our main focuses are custom homes, barn doors and shops, and commercial development. But it doesn't stop there. So pull out your phones and use this QR code on your screen to take a quick look at our website. We can't wait to make your dreams come true. Now that we have helped pay some bills, let's throw it back to you, Aaron.
Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready to rock and roll here this evening from the beautiful Auto Club Speedway. This is going to be a great show. It's going to be a great race, and it is our championship race here with the Premium Stock Car Racing League, where one single driver will be crowned our champion here this year. As Jimmy Six Time says, hi, Uncle Lonnie Kreider. What's good, Lonnie? How are you? Lonnie coming in showing the love, says hello to everyone at home. Yes, sir. If you're at home, on the road, wherever you are, welcome in to what's going to be a very fun race. As Jimmy Six Times says, thank you to everyone who has made this season such a big success from Kreider. Yeah, that's a huge, we like to reiterate that as well. Huge thank you to everyone making this season so big, such a success, and so much fun. And we can't wait for the next season to get underway, but we got to finish this one off first. And we got a lot of drivers that are going to be looking to try to put themselves not only potentially into victory lane, as our championship drivers don't necessarily need to win this race. They just need to finish in front of the other three competitors, where we will see Josh Kreider, Brian Underwood, Jordan Hand, and Aiden Lucas all duke it out here this season for that championship. Whoever beats the other three here this evening will be crowned our champion here in Season 5, which is going to be absolutely amazing to see. As Dr. Relief, that's Mr. Dylan Carrier, says, I was able to run a 4-hour session last night and win a league race without crashing, so I have high hopes for tonight, he says. Oh, baby, hopefully got that PC bug fixed, but I feel like you just jinxed yourself, brother. I feel like you just jinxed yourself. Potentially, you're going to crash out again here tonight, man. I don't know. You just jinx yourself is probably what's going to end up happening as we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to go here as qualifying now underway. Drivers jumping out on the racetrack looking to lay down their quick times here this evening. If you take a look at the 11 machine, that is the OKC machine, the champions ride out there trying to win the championship here this year. Jordan Hand trying to follow right in the OKC footsteps here, looking to clutch it up here tonight and try to pick up this championship. Josh Kreider just rolling out onto the racetrack as the Energizer Rubbered Up Productions number 5 ride jumps out onto the racetrack. He'll look to get some good qualifying laps in here, as we did see Aiden Lucas. There's Aiden in that Tracker Boats Bass Pro Shops NJB Designs number 20 ride, jumping out there onto the speedway. He'll be looking to try to get a good run in and hoping that he can try to pick up the championship here this season as well. Started off super hot, man. This car was dang near untouchable for a while. What did he win? 4 races, 5 races in a row. This 20 machine of Aiden Lucas for a little bit looked like he was going to be unstoppable. No one was going to be able to beat him out there on the racetrack until all of a sudden he started to run into some issues. And now you do see him get a great lap time right there. Aiden Lucas ties Jordan Hand virtually for the top spot, but they quickly fall back as Dylan Carrier jumps up, now has that pole position in that 31 ride. Probably the fastest car out there on the racetrack the last few weeks. Unfortunately, some connection issues have taken him out of contention of potentially winning the last couple races here, and really I do believe internet connection failure potentially hurt him in his odds of potentially transferring through into that round of 6, and then what could have been in round of 6 to make his way into potentially this championship round. So it's been a heartbreaking end of the season for Dylan Carrier, but again, he's still just looking to finish strong, hoping to get a good run, a solid drive, and a great performance here. And it just starts right now, and potentially qualifying in that pole position may be enough for him to get that done here today. As Dylan Carrier is the quickest there in qualifying, Josh Kreider jumps up into position number 2. Great lap there for that number 5 ride. He'll get another look at another lap around. We'll see if he can get a little extra speed here on lap number 2. Doesn't look like it. About 5/100 slower there, so he will stay in that second spot. We do see Ryan Haller now jump up into position number 6. Brian Underwood, our 4th and final playoff driver to qualify here this evening, hasn't laid down a lap yet. Brian Underwood jumps out onto the racetrack looking for a big run, as Dr. Relief says, not internet laugh out loud, more like a iRacing bug that I found and hopefully fixed. Yeah, hopefully you got that fixed. Hopefully you got it fixed, but I'm sure something's still going to happen. Either iRacing's going to crash on you, the internet's going to crash on you, someone's going to turn the power off on your house. Something crazy's going to happen, man, and you'll probably get jinxed again here. I mean, you jinx yourself by saying that you're hoping that it doesn't happen tonight. As a quick time there for Brian Underwood. Underwood by 6/100ths of a second jumps up and steals that top spot away from Dylan Carrier. So one of our championship drivers looking to start on the front row and in the pole position, and that is Brian Underwood. Dylan Carrier to his outside. Josh Kreider, Jordan Hand, our top 4 out there on the racetrack, as we'll get a quick listen into here. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please stand up, remove your hats, and give it up here for Landon Burbage, as he is going to give us our national anthem here this evening.
Hey.
Alrighty, shout out there to Landon Burbage with our national anthem. Now we're going to hear from our opening command here this evening. It's Uncle Lonnie Kreider coming in with the command again here this evening for the final time here this season.
Hey, I'm Lonnie Kreider. It's been great to be with you guys. I love doing this. I hope you enjoyed some of the things I've done and said, and good luck tonight. It's just great. Hey, we'd like to thank all the sponsors. A lot of sponsors. Without them, we can't have racing. And the people behind the scenes takes care of this racing. All the families that's been watching as they put up with everything. What a great season it has been of racing. Tell you what, I enjoyed every race that I watched. What good racing with all you guys. Glad to have everybody here with us tonight. I hope you'll call somebody and tell them to watch tonight, because this is the Final Four, and then we'll take a few weeks off, and then we'll be back for the 6th year in a row we'll be racing. All the money, all the marbles, all the trophies and everything that goes along with all this racing, this hard work they've done. The championship, the Final Four. 4 guys racing to get a title, to win the trophy, and everything that goes along with this. Glad to have our announcer. What a great job he's done, and I understand he's going to be back next year, and we're glad for that. Remember, God first, racing second, and everything will always go right the way you want to be. So good luck tonight. Once again, God bless America. God bless everyone. Start them engines in. Let's go racing, guys, and have a lot of fun.
Woo!
For the race to start in my easy chair.
Alrighty, give it up there. Lonnie Kreider coming in with our opening command, and we got those drivers out on the racetrack ready to rock and roll. Here this evening is our main feature event about to get underway. Is our championship race is here, and it is green flag racing action here from Auto Club Speedway as we end all the anticipation with our feature presentation as that 6th ride of Brian Underwood quickly jumps out in front. Underwood with the race lead, looking to try to lead him down through quarter 1 and out of 2. He'll slide up and clear that 31, but here comes Carrier with a big head of steam down the back straightaway. This is a speedway that's all about momentum. It's all about carrying that speed, and you take a look at the 31 now drives deep down low to the inside, but a quick crossover as the 31. Look out, he's sideways. Kreider has to get checked up. Oh no, they're wrecking here on the front straightaway. Heavy damage to Jordan Hand. Heavy damage here to Josh Kreider, man. Nowhere to go. Get some pretty heavy damage there himself. I do believe we're going to see another one of our championship 4 contenders collected. There's Aiden Lucas tied up and tore up here early in this race as well. So early on, a bunch of our playoff drivers running into issues. Man, oh man, oh man. Things got a little bit plumb wild there in a quick hurry as you watch this 31. Gets this big run down the back straightaway. Shoots down to the inside here. Looking to make the move around Brian Underwood for the race lead. Underwood cuts back down underneath him as the 31's trying to make that corner. Just loses the rear end. Comes down. You see the 5 ride right there. Kreider has to get checked up. Now, this is a pair of our playoff competitors. Obviously, the 6 ride able to get through there, able to keep himself out of trouble, but for Josh Kreider, for Aiden Lucas, these drivers nowhere to go. You see Hand gets into the back end of Kreider, then you see Aiden Lucas gets into the back end of Hand, and then oh man, just all these drivers nowhere to go here on the front straightaway. So many tore up race cars, and unfortunately here for Aiden Lucas and Jordan Hand, it looks like they got the brunt of that damage here. Kreider getting a little bit of damage obviously there to the back end, not as bad as what the front end damage is here to that 11 machine or the 20 ride. Is that's definitely not the way you want this thing to start off here today. Your playoff and championship hopes here obviously getting a big wrench into them right out of the get-go. Not even making it one official lap out there on the racetrack, and that's a heartbreaker, man. That is definitely a heartbreaker for a lot of these guys. As let's see if we can get another look at this one, take another shot at it. As you're just gonna see this another angle. Nope, that's not the right angle we want. Blimp, maybe a little bit better. There we go. All right, here you go. You're going to see that 31 slideways on the racetrack. Here comes that 5 ride. Has to get checked up. Does get a little front end damage, but the 11 ride, the 20 ride, it's just chain reaction. They don't have enough time to get checked up. Unfortunately, they drive in there, get quite a bit of damage. Aiden Lucas gets more contact there as the 99 ride. A hauler gets into his back end, spins him down through the grass. You see Kreider just takes his car straight down pit road here. Dylan Carrier, Aiden Lucas going for a ride, and man, that is a tough start to this race as All those drivers will be looking to try to rebound here. Obviously, it's great news for Brian Underwood. Is Underwood out in front? He's got the race lead. He's feeling great here at the front of the field, being the one and only Championship 4 competitor not tied up in our opening lap carnage here this evening. So he's feeling fine out there on the racetrack right now. Jordan Hand has used that quick repair. Same with Aiden Lucas, both looking to get their cars repaired and back into racing condition here. You do see Dylan Carrier back there with him. Ryan Haller getting his car fixed up. He's there in 14th. Josh Kreider, I do believe, has gotten his car repaired as well. He rolls back out onto the racetrack here. He'll be scored back in the 15th position as man, tough break. The Rubbered Up Productions Energizer Premium Stock Car Racing League number 5 ride. Definitely not the start he wanted. Not the start for the Oklahoma City Thunder number 11 ride of Jordan Hand. Not how he wanted this night to start. And same with Aiden Lucas in that Bass Pro Shops NJBDesigns.com number 20 ride. Definitely 3 of our competitors running into early issues here. Not the way they wanted things to go, but they'll be looking to try to rebound. Hope that they can stay clean and green for the rest of this race and put themselves into a position to try to bounce back here this evening. But for right now, Brian Underwood, he's sitting in the best seat in the house here. He's out in front, has the race lead. He has that quick repair still in his back pocket in case if he runs into issues of his own. But right now, those competitors that are hunting him for this championship back there behind him, they're going to be looking to try to race their way back up here. And if you do try to race your way back up, or there's more issues in front of you, you could get tied up very easily into another big wreck like we just saw. As Sure Haller says, thanks to everyone who makes this racing happen. Go Ryan Haller tonight. Cheered on Haller out there on the speedway. Haller unfortunately did get a little bit of contact into that first lap wreck, but luckily enough, not too much damage, able to get that thing repaired. Rolls back in about the 14th position and gets ready to go back to green flag racing. Is down through the Geico restart zone. That 6 ride of Brian Underwood gets another great start here and quickly jumps out in front, sends it into corner number 1. Nice and easy down through the middle here as he'll leave corner number 2, hoping to keep that speed and momentum up where he can try to hold all these drivers back there at bay. You see the 79 ride of Danny White looking now to the inside there, and Noah Blackwell as Blackwell is able to slide up in front of him. Great battle back here for a second. This time looks like everyone going to make it nice and easy down into quarter number 3 and out of 4. We'll see if we can stay clean and green. Everyone trying to make it through there. There's 2, 3 wide back here trying to navigate their way back to the front of the field as you do see Jordan Hand down low. He's trying to race his way up there. Here comes Aiden Lucas, Dylan Carrier right there as well. He's looking to get back into that battle, and unfortunately for Josh Kreider, no! Tough break here for Kreider. Kreider is headed down pit side here, and now I'm not sure if there's more issues, potentially more damage here for that 5 ride, but this is a green flag pit stop, and this is definitely not what you want to see if you're one of the Kreider fans in the stands here this evening, as he'll be down pit side, gonna be very unhappy with how things have kind of played out here in this race. Obviously having those issues, having those problems, definitely not where you want to be for Josh Kreider, man. That's a heartbreaker there for him, chat. That is a tough day. That is a tough race here. I'm sure he's going to be feeling very, very gutted after that one. Obviously not how anyone wants their race to go, and for one of our championship competitors, definitely never what you want to see out there on the speedway is having those issues and being stuck down pit road. And for Josh Kreider, I feel his pain, man. This is rough. Let's take a look in at him there with the driver webcam for Kreider as he's still down pit side. The rest of the field is continuing to race here. He's just rolling back out onto the racetrack. As of right now, he's about 2 laps down on the racetrack, I do believe, potentially about to go maybe 2 laps down here. Brian Underwood, the rest of the field catching up to him here in a quick hurry. So he could get lucky. Maybe a caution flag or 2 could keep him kind of still in the game here, still keep him kind of in this race. But as of right now, definitely going to be way behind the 8 ball, definitely way behind where he wants to be out there on the speedway. And obviously that's going to send him back quite a bit all evening long. So we'll have to wait and see how Josh Kreider will try to rebound and battle back into this race. As you never want to have too many issues, and obviously having early issues, at least you got time that you can try to rebound from it, but it's still going to be very, very tough. It's going to be very hard to do for that number 5 machine here this evening. You see those race leaders not too far back there behind him here as, is that my iRacing blinking a little bit there? I don't know what was going on. Skipping there a little bit, chat. I don't know what that was. It's not Streamlabs, so it's got to be iRacing there. That's an interesting one. But nonetheless, we keep on battling. We keep on racing here. These drivers doing a fantastic job as Brian Underwood continues to lead the way. He's hoping to just be that reflection of perfection all evening long. Here is Danny White there in position number 2. Noah Blackwell there in 3rd. Here comes that 89 ride. Melvin Brangruer moving his way up and through the field here. Same with Jonathan Gaston. Gaston able to make it onto the podium last Saturday. Here he is racing his way back up inside the top 5. That Gaston's iRacing Graphics, the G-Man, the Old Dogs Racing ride now into position number 5. Here is Grant Applegate in the Findlay Farms. Number 57 unfortunately got eliminated from the playoffs and unfortunately is not a part of our championship 4 here this season for that 57 ride. Tough break for him, but he's looking just to finish the season off strong, rolling there just outside our top 5. James Efong, good to see him back out on the speedway, as well as that WeatherTech Red Bull Racing number 88 there in 9th. Dylan Carrier back in position number 8. Jordan Hand there in 9th with Aiden Lucas rounding out our top 10. So for right now, Brian Underwood out in front of all of our other championship drivers as Jordan Hand, Aiden Lucas just inside our top 10. Josh Kreider a couple laps down, scored back here in position number 15 on the speedway. So definitely a tough position for this 5 ride to be in, and with no stage break here, no actual caution flag at the end of this first stage, going to make it a very, very long time, potentially green flag pit stops here before he will see another potential caution flag there with that stage 2 break ending. So that's going to be a tough one there for a lot of these drivers, obviously, especially for that 5 ride, especially if someone else goes a lap down out there on the racetrack, or if he has more issues or has a penalty or anything else. It's going to make his night a very, very long night, and already having problems and already a lap down out there on the speedway could potentially go a couple laps down in a quick hurry. Could be 4, 5, 6 laps down and could be potentially out of this racing championship hunt before he even knows it. As Brian Underwood continues to lead the way here, Underwood just kind of on cruise control here. That bang ride out in front here. He was last season's champion. He was able to do exactly what he did here this year. That was just be there all season long, be that key to consistency, and he has been right there doing the exact same thing week after week after week, just getting good solid finishes. Has picked up a couple wins here in the playoffs just like he did last season, and now here he is in the final race. That championship race just seems like he comes to life, and here he is driving his way out in front, just hoping to stay here all evening long and potentially try to pick up the championship again here this year, and going back to back here with the Premium Stock Car Racing League as our champion here on this season, as Underwood leads us back down into corner number 1. Already 13 laps completed here this evening for Josh Kreider. He's been able to stay just a little bit in front of our race leaders. He's not too far in front of them as they are just down the back straightaway here behind him. And for right now, he's been able to hold them off, but slowly but surely they will be catching up to him here as tire fall off continues to play havoc here on a lot of these drivers. We'll see who's going to be able to have the better long-run car compared to the short-run car, and vice versa, as Underwood back down across the line. Lap 14 done here this evening. So as our race leader just completed lap 14, Kreider just completed lap number 12. So I do believe he's already 2 laps or 1 lap down. I'm not sure here. I think he's 2 laps down already for Josh Kreider, and could potentially go to 3 laps down here if they get past him. I'm not sure if that's how math adds up or not. I think he's only 1 lap down as of right now and is in that free pass position. So if he does get a caution flag, he could get himself back onto the lead lap, and that would be the best break for him. If he does fall to 2 laps down, obviously we'll need a couple caution flags to get back onto the lead lap here, and hoping that no one else goes a lap down in that process or before he does get a caution flag and a lucky dog out there on the speedway. So could be a very long night for that 5 ride. Obviously not a lot of caution flags here at Auto Club, and could be one right here. Contact between the 18 and the 79. Oh baby, that was very close to giving Josh Kreider that lap back out there on the speedway, but Danny White able to catch it, able to keep his foot in the throttle. Same with that 18 ride of Noah Blackwell. I do not know how they saved those cars coming down and out at corner number 2. Let's play this back and take another look at it. As man, these guys were battling hard back here. You see the 18 ride, the 79, they're back in 2nd and 3rd, just behind our race leader, Brian Underwood. Then you're going to see the 18 just washes up the racetrack, just gets tight, washes up, and I'm not sure if Danny White right here maybe lose the rear end, maybe just the air getting dumped onto that left rear quarter panel of his. All of a sudden, it looks like, I don't know if he gets a little loose or if the 18 does get into him. I think maybe neck code probably got a little factor into that one, helping knock that rear end loose on the 79. They get tied together. They both push each other down the racetrack onto the apron right here. Luckily enough, both drivers able to keep themselves pointing the right direction, keep on rolling here. No yellow flag, and we keep it clean and green out there on the speedway. Great break for Brian Underwood. Definitely did not want to see that caution flag, and obviously now having a potential opportunity to jump up here, make some moves, and maybe see if he can try to just run away with this race here. Obviously has about an 0.8 of a second lead now with his teammate Grant Applegate back there behind him. So Applegate now into 2nd. Melvin Brengerer there in 3rd. Noah Blackwell back in 4th. Jonathan Gaston, Jordan Hand up and into 6th now with Aiden Lucas, Dylan Carrier, Danny White back into 9th, and James Efa rounding out our top 10. Ryan Haller, Wyatt Mickelson there in 11th and 12th. Ben Gleason back in 13th. Farrell Robbins there in 14th. And Josh Kreider back in position number 15 on the speedway here, as he is the only car right now currently a lap down on the speedway. And for the number 5 Ryan, he continues to see those race leaders there right in his rear view mirror, knowing that this race continues to stay clean and green, that he could potentially go another lap down here in a quick hurry. So they're all trying to make sure that they can just keep their P's and Q's here, dot their I's, cross their T's, keep these cars pointing the right direction, maybe see if they can jump up, make some moves, and maybe see if someone can maybe put that 5 right a couple laps down, take him out of contention truly of this championship race, especially with only potentially 1 more caution flag on the day. Is Jaden, what's good, Jaden? Jaden says, let's go. Lucas, cheering on Lucas out there on the speedways. Aiden Lucas, unfortunately, already running into problems here this evening. Obviously, Aiden having some contact there, getting tied up in that opening lap caution flag. Obviously, heavy contact for him and his teammate, Jordan Hand. And as those drivers ran into those problems, obviously, Josh Kreider ended up getting the worst end of that deal. I'm not sure what happened there with Kreider, but having to come back down pit side during the green flag conditions really just took him out of this one. It looked like he had that car fixed up, it was cleaned, it was good to go, and then all of a sudden he comes down pit road there as we were going back to green flag racing, and for the 5 ride, having to spend a couple laps down on pit road definitely just kind of took him out of this race. And right now he's just trying to battle back into it, and definitely a heartbreaker there for him. But it's going to be fun to see if he can try to get back into the action here. If he can catch a caution flag or 2, potentially could give himself an opportunity to get right back into this race. But right now, for these drivers, already 20 laps completed. This time by the start-finish line, we'll see 21 laps done and over with here today. So 79 laps left of racing action here in this one, as Brian Underwood out in front here, about 7/10 of a second between himself and Grant Applegate. Applegate there in position number 2. Melvin Brengruer there in position number 3 here on the speedway. And then you do see Noah Blackwell right there hanging on to 4th. Great piece of driving there for Blackwell. Jonathan Gaston in position number 5 with Jordan Hand, Aiden Lucas, Dylan Carrier, Danny White, James Efaw rounding out our top 10 here on the speedway. Underwood, though, he's looking great. He's feeling great. He's at the front of the field, just continue to hit his marks here. But let's see if we can jump on board with another one of these drivers. Let's see if we can jump on board here with Jordan Hand. Hand is going to take us for a lap around here as they head down the front straightaway into corner number 1. He came into this race with some high hopes. Looked very good there in practice. Looked very good in qualifying. Obviously having that early issue. Now trying to battle back from it as he's trying to hunt down the top 5 on the speedway right now. Trying to battle his way back to the front of the field. Jordan Hand down the backstretch here will kick up all that speed, all that momentum, send it down into corner number 3. Now there's so many different lines. It's such a wide racetrack. You see that 57 right there, a little farther forward, running more of that higher to middle lane here. Some drivers down through the middle, other drivers down low. You got 5, 6, 7 different lanes that you can really choose to run here at Auto Club Speedway, and especially with 15 drivers out there on the racetrack, you can kind of pick and choose where you want to go, and hopefully that you can make the ground up that you're looking for or find that speed that you need to try to drive your way up to the front of the field. And right now, that's exactly what Jordan Hand trying to do, is he's trying to stick right there to the back end of the G-Man there. That is Jonathan Gaston in the Gaston's iRacing Graphics ride right in front of him, and the rest of our top 4 there as well as Noah Blackwell and all these drivers trying to race their way up to the front of the field. But you can kind of see that gap here. Brian Underwood has an absolutely massive advantage here. He's got him just up here all by his lonesome. Not a whole lot of drivers around him here, as that's the gap all the way back to the 57 ride. It's now about 1.9 seconds going to about 2 seconds here through quarter 1 and 2. So Brian Underwood really just starting to pull farther and farther away from everybody else, and he's got to be feeling good about how his car's feeling out there on the speedway right now. Is Underwood, Applegate 1 and 2 on the speedway. Melvin Brengruer there in 3rd with Noah Blackwell and Jonathan Gaston rounding out our top 5 here on the speedway. As these drivers battling, duking it out, man. Let's take a look back through some of our drivers that are in contention here this evening for this championship here this year. Obviously, we have that number 6 machine, Brian Underwood, one of what could have been probably, I would say, the underdogs of tonight's race. I do believe there was a poll up in the Discord here for the drivers, and I do believe that he was one of those drivers that was stouted at as an underdog here on the evening. So that's a tough break there for the 6th ride. Obviously, coming in, sometimes it's better to be the underdog than what it is to kind of be one of those drivers that are highly looked after to try to win this race. As I do believe we had, about 6 drivers thought potentially Brian Hand was going to be the driver who wins here tonight. 5 drivers were, thinking that Lucas was going to get it done here. And for Josh Grider and Brian Underwood, they both only got 2 votes out there for potentially being the champion here this evening. So definitely an odd vote, not a whole lot of votes, and I'm sure all the fans of the stands may vote a little bit differently. And I think for Brian Underwood right now, he's definitely feeling that the voting should go a completely different way here in this one, as man, this is a heck of a run so far, heck of a battle for Brian Underwood, as he's just looking to try to drive away with this one, not wanting to see a caution flag, a stage break, or anything else here this evening, as I'm not sure if they updated the race info. They definitely did not do that. So let's take a look here at this one. So it's looking like stages are lap 25 and lap number 50. Now, points don't matter, but the stages, they still do take effect. So stage 1, they'll get championship points that will go toward just regular season championships or owners championships, team championships here on the season. It won't go towards our championship 4. That will not matter here this evening. Points do not matter for those championship 4. It's all about who wins this race, or whoever is out in front of the other 3 at the checkered flag. So for right now, it's not that big of a deal for drivers for these stage breaks, but for drivers like Josh Kreider, a stage break, a caution flag could really help him out here, as we don't see the yellow flag for stage number 1, so he won't see stage number 2 caution flag until the completion of lap number 50 for Josh Kreider, and that's a tough break for him, as we do see Wyatt Mickelson down pit side, Grant Applegate heads down pit road, Ben Gleason down pit side as well. We already saw Dylan Carrier, Danny White, Melvin Brangrew, Noah Blackwell all came down pit side here, all making their pit stops here just before our first stage coming to a close. Here comes Ryan Haller now. Haller heads down pit side. He's making his green flag pit stop here on the racetrack. We're still waiting for Underwood, our race leader, Jordan Hand, our second place driver, to head down pit road. Aiden Lucas yet to come down pit side here as well. Now Jordan and Aiden were both down pit road there on lap number 2 after getting collected in that first caution flag, so they were able to get their cars fixed up and back out here on the speedway. Probably got a little extra fuel into their tank, so they may try to stretch it a little bit farther, try to have better tires for later in this run, but as of right now, they still have to make those green flag pit stops here. So doesn't Brian Underwood, their teammate and also their competitor here for this championship, as Underwood, Jordan Hand, and Aiden Lucas, they're 3 of the 4 championship 4 contenders here this evening, all a part of the Redemption Racing team here in the season. So that just shows you how strong that team has been all season long. And for Underwood, Jordan Hand, and Aiden Lucas, 3 teammates competing, battling, and duking it out amongst each other here for that championship here this year. Obviously, Josh Kreider, he was kind of the lone wolf on the outside looking in here for that number 5 ride for Kreider. Unfortunately, he's the only driver not a part of that team. He's the only driver that's not in this championship 4 that isn't a part of that team. So, unfortunately for the 5 ride, he's kind of a lone wolf out there for our championship competitors. And as of right now, he's still a lap or 2 laps down out there on the speedway. Definitely not a spot you want to be in for that number 5 ride. This is a tough day for him. Definitely not the afternoon that he was hoping for. He's just hoping to catch that caution flag and hoping that none of these other drivers go a lap down or stay a lap down, as you do see Farrell Robbins, Ryan Haller, Ben Gleason, Wyatt Mickelson, they're all a lap down, James Efaw, all these drivers that have already made their green flag pit stops there. Still a lap down out there right now. We have seen Dylan Carrier put himself back onto the lead lap. I do believe Danny White will be looking to try to put himself back onto the lead lap here very shortly. But for Brian Underwood right now, if he catches a caution flag, would definitely hurt the odds for the 5 ride, as one of these other drivers would get that lucky dog. It would not go to the 5, but it would keep him at least just 1 lap down out there. Would still have to make a pit stop. That really wouldn't matter because he wouldn't have that track position. So here he comes down pit road, though. Here comes Brian Underwood making that pit stop here this evening. So Underwood heads down pit side, the first of our championship drivers to make their green flag pit stop here in and after stage number 1. Jonathan Gaston going to come down pit road with them. Jordan Hand and Aiden Lucas, though, they stay out here. Now their tires have fallen off quite a bit, so they're going to be running a lot slower lap times than a bunch of these other drivers with those fresh tires. They are virtually running about a second and a half, 2 seconds slower than what the fresh tires are out there on the racetrack. So giving up all that time, giving up all that momentum and speed and everything else out there on the racetrack could definitely either set you back or help you out later in the run, and I think that's what a lot of these drivers are trying to do, or maybe see if they can stretch it out here or run the stage a little longer, maybe not take tires, maybe use them later in this run, or have an extra set back behind pit wall to use your advantage. You see Josh Kreider is making his pit stop here once again. So for the 5 ride, back down pit side, looking to get his green flag pit stop in here again in this run, and unfortunately for that 5 machine, not the spot you want to be again, down pit road. Hopefully no damage or no penalties for him, as that would really take him out of the running for this race, as they're going to jack him up on the left side and the right side. They're going to get tires onto that car, and he's going to roll right back out onto the racetrack here, and hoping that he can stay at least 1 lap down and somewhat in contention here still this evening. As here comes Jordan Hand, here comes Aiden Lucas. Hand and Lucas both down pit side now. So they both come down pit road, as Matthew Wood says says, let's go, Lucas, let's get it, he says. Let's get it. Cheering on Aiden Lucas out there. Aiden obviously getting tied up in that first lap wreck here. Let's take a look back at that first lap wreck. If you guys weren't here and you missed out on the action, we were able to catch a quick caution flag here early in this race as Dylan Carrier kind of stepped on it. And unfortunately for a couple of our playoff drivers, they get tied up in this one. Nowhere to go. They end up getting tied up in it. End up with some pretty solid damage here as you watch this 31 ride of Dylan Carrier. He's running in position number 2. Slides up in front of the 6 ride, but loses the handle of it. And then all of a sudden, it's the contact back behind him that really does the work here. As all of a sudden, drivers like Jordan Hand, Aiden Lucas, in that 5 ride, all of a sudden they have nowhere to go. Here's the 11 into the back end of the 5. The 20 ride of Aiden Lucas into the back end of Jordan Hand. 3 of our championship 4 getting collected in that one. Heavy damage for all 3 of them here. And unfortunately for a couple of them using their quick repairs early for the 5 ride of Josh Kreider. He is still a lap down out there on the speedway. Actually, I do believe he has now scored as 2 laps down out on the racetrack as Dylan Carrier has put him 2 laps down here this evening. And Dylan Carrier obviously making that earlier pit stop, came down pit road on lap number 25. He does have the race lead. He's out in front by about 4 seconds here on the racetrack, but there's fresher tires back here behind him trying to hunt him down. One of those being Grant Applegate, Melvin Brangrewer right there, Danny White back in the 79 ride, Brian Underwood here in the number 5 machine. He just laid down the quickest lap of this race the last time around, so Underwood finding some great speed, obviously has those fresh tires, looking to use them to his advantage out there on the racetrack, and right now hoping to try to hunt down all these drivers in front of him and race his way back to the front of the field. Jordan Hand has rebounded there, did make that pit stop. He rolls there in 7th, and then Aiden Lucas a little farther back here in position number 11. Some tight racing back here just inside and outside our top 10 on the racetrack. As all these drivers duking it out for position on the speedway. It is Dylan Carrier though who continues to lead the way. Now he's hoping to see the green and white checkered flag here, hoping to win another stage here late in this season. Obviously, the stage points and everything else, they don't really mean much anymore. You can't earn really any points except for, owners' points and team points here. So, other than that, it's more for pride and justification and just showing the ability that you have going into next season for that number 31. And for Dylan Carrier, he's just hoping that he can stay out in front and potentially pick up this stage win as he's got about 11 more laps left to go before this stage comes to a close. And you did see that 5 ride of Josh Kreider. Kreider has worked his way now down and around Grant Applegate, and he's trying to hunt down Dylan Carrier. If he can get around Carrier and put himself back to 1 lap down, that would be a very good spot for him to be, as right now he's the only driver who is currently a lap down out on the racetrack. So even if the stage were to come to an end, he could get at least 1 lap back, but still be 1 lap down if they're on the racetrack. That's definitely not a spot you want to be if this race goes clean and green for the final 50 laps for Farrell Robbins. He could potentially go a lap down, but he's not too far away from our race leaders here. Obviously, this is a very, very big racetrack, a lot of time out there on the speedway, so right now, though, Dylan Carrier leading this race. Kreider trying to hunt him down, trying to put himself back on the lead lap. Or not back onto the lead lap, but back to 1 lap down here, trying to get there before this stage comes to a close. So he's really pushing it, trying to hunt down this 31 ride. In doing so, could be potentially just burning up his equipment and wearing out these tires out there on the speedway right now. So we'll have to keep an eye on that and see kind of how that plays out for that 5 machine. But to give himself a chance, to give himself an opportunity to try to win this championship, he needs to get up here. He needs to get around that 31 ride, get himself 1 lap down, get that free pass at the end of stage number 2, and get himself back on the lead lap where he compete once again for this championship. And even if you're back on the lead lap, man, even if you're at the back of the pack, it still gives you a shot, still gives you an opportunity to potentially drive your way up and into this this championship here this season. So he's trying to give it everything he can out there on the racetrack right now. Dylan Carrier continuing to lead this race here. He's got about 1.8 seconds now between himself and Applegate as Applegate rolls there in position number 2. Underwood back up into third here. Underwood trying to hunt them all down here as you do see Kreider down low, able to quickly make that move down to the inside of Dylan Carrier and put himself back to 1 lap down on the racetrack. So great move right there for that number 5 ride of Josh Kreider as Kreider just barely in front of that 31 ride. Now 1 lap down instead of 2 laps down, and that is a big break for him here today as actually, I don't know, is he 2 laps down or 1 lap down? The leaders are on lap 42 and a half. He's on lap 40 and a half here, but just in front of the race leaders. I mean, he's 2 laps down, or was he 3 laps down and now 2 laps down? I don't know. It's a tough one. He may be still 2 laps down, chat. He may still be 2 laps down. I'm not too sure. SDK doesn't tell me how many laps down they are. It just gives me what lap they're on or how much time they're behind. And I can't decipher on how many laps down he is. We'll maybe have to wait for this scroll wheel to go by before we can get a good look at it here. As 31 still out in front, though, looking to try to pick up this stage win. And yeah, only 1 lap down now. So that's a great break there for Josh Kreider, being only 1 lap down, hoping to keep it that way as he does not want to be stuck back there a lap down throughout this final stage of this race, as he may not be able to catch a caution flag, may not be able to get himself even back into contention here today if he stays 2 laps down out there on the racetrack, even just gets that quick caution flag here at the end of the stage. We'll get him back to 1 lap down again, but I don't think he'd be able to. Well, maybe he gets another caution flag and gets back into it, but that's out of anyone's realm of knowledge, and better just to get it back here while you can, while it's in your hands, and hope to keep it as Dylan Carrier continues to lead this race. About 6 laps left here in stage number 2, and you do see a couple drivers starting to hunt down our race leader. Here comes Applegate, here comes Underwood. Underwood right there getting to the back bumper of his Redemption Motorsports teammate there, as Underwood and Applegate teammates here on the year. Same with Jordan Hand. His hand now around Melvin Brangruer for position number 4, and Jordan Hand's raced his way back up into contention here this evening as Brangruer there in position number 5. You do see Aiden Lucas right there. Aiden looking to try to get around that 89 right as well here at the end of stage number 2 this evening. For Dylan Carrier, though, he came down pit road virtually about 8 laps after, or 8 laps before Brian Underwood. So he's got 8 lap older tires here. Unfortunately, he may be a little bit of a sitting duck out there on the racetrack compared to that 6 ride of Brian Underwood. For Applegate, he came down pit road about 3 laps after Dylan Carrier, so he's not too far off of the 31 ride, but you can see his car definitely starting to fall off a little bit as well. And now we're going to really start to see Jordan Hand and that number 20 ride of Aiden Lucas start to hunt down and catch up to those guys. They came down pit side a couple laps after even what Brian Underwood did. So Underwood came down pit road on lap 33. They were down pit road on lap 35 here as the 31 ride of Carrier moves down to the inside, now to the outside here. I'm not sure if he's trying to break that draft down the back straightaway or if he's just trying to keep that car under control. Nonetheless, he does have Underwood right there on his back bumper. Here comes Brian down to the inside, able to make that quick turn down low and into the inside of the 31. He's going to side draft him down the front straightaway here. They end up making a little contact. The 31 up into the outside fence. And look out. Oh, baby. That's going to get spicy. Definitely going to see some frustration boil from that one as the 31 of Dylan Carrier gets a little side draft, gets a little bump, and shoved up into the outside fence by one of our Championship 4 competitors here this evening. And Underwood now having a bit of a gap here, hoping to try to keep that gap and hoping to pull away from everybody else as here comes Jordan Hand, another one of his Redemption Motorsports teammates. Jordan having a solid run here after rebounding, after getting tied up in that first wreck. Now he's trying to hunt down his teammate Brian Underwood here for potentially the win in stage number 2 here this evening. evening. Applegate back there in third, Carrier there in fourth, Aiden Lucas a little farther back. They're in position number 5 on the speedway. Melvin Brengruer in 6 with Danny White, Noah Blackwell, Ben Gleason, Wyatt Mickelson rounding out our top 10. Gaston there in 11th, James Efaw there in 12th, Ryan Haller, Farrell Robbins, our top 14, Josh Kreider, they're in position number 15 on the speedway, hoping to see this stage come to an end, give him the lucky dog, and put him back onto the lead lap as the 6th ride of Brian Underwood. He needs to lead this way, but down across the line, we'll get 1 lap left to go here in stage number 2. Jordan Hand right there with them, but Hand maybe a little too far back, and he closed the 0.3 of a second here on this final lap of stage number 2, and take this stage win away from that number 6 machine. Is down and out of corner number 2. My gosh, he closed that gap, got right to the back bumper here of Brian Underwood. Underwood's going to have to try to hold him off here for one more set of corners as Hand goes up to the high side. Underwood cuts down through the middle. We'll see who's got the drive on corner exit and who can beat each other. Back down across the start finish line is Brian Underwood out in front, trying to win stage number 2 here this evening. He will get it done as Underwood sweeps stage 1 and stage number 2 here this evening, as that will be the end of our first 2 stages on the day, and we should see that caution flag fly here once the 10 ride crosses the start finish line. There it is. Okay, so we do get the yellow flag out. Stage has come to a close, so stage number 2 done and over with here this evening. Now, great break there for Josh Kreider. That should put Kreider back onto the lead lap here. Great break there for him. A lucky break, and he'll be happy to get back onto the lead lap and looking to see if he can try to battle and compete for what could be this championship still this evening. Obviously, probably couldn't win that championship for being a lap or 2 laps down out there on the racetrack, but now back on the lead lap. We'll see if he can try to navigate his way back towards the front and back into contention here this afternoon, as definitely a great break there for him. As Underwood, though, out in front, he has been that reflection of perfection here throughout the evening. Jordan Hand there looked very, very good there, late in that run, so we'll have to wait and see if he can kind of recreate that and have that same style of a run late in this race and see if he can try to put himself up into victory lane and potentially into this championship here this evening. As Underwood, though, picking up that stage win, man, he's got to feel pretty good about his odds. He's got to be feeling pretty good about this race, as so far he's been, pretty much picture perfect, other than kind of that little bit of pit cycle right there, has been out in front leading most of this race. So he's going to be, I think, a tough one to beat all day long. But now that we see Jordan Hand back up here at the front of the field, we'll have to wait and see what he's going to got in store. Same with Aiden Lucas, as here they come down pit side, ready to make their second pit stop of the evening, potentially third for some of these drivers that did end up having problems and did end up running into issues out there. So we'll have to wait and see if we get more problems here, more issues for drivers, or if we keep it clean and green and race this down to the checkered flag here without any more major issues here on the evening. So we'll keep a close eye on that. We'll keep a close eye on all these drivers as they are going to be down pit side, looking to race back down off of pit lane here today. And it's going to be fun. This is going to be interesting to see how this is going to play out. Who do you guys got? Who do you guys think gets this championship? Is it Brian Underwood? Do we see Jordan Hand maybe jump up and steal it away from him? Do we see potentially, someone like Aiden Lucas get up there and potentially win this race and the championship? Can he bounce back and put himself into the championship here this year? Do we see Josh Kreider come out of nowhere here from a couple laps down out on the racetrack, battling his way back into the action? Do we see Kreider race his way back up here and steal this championship? Man, what a crazy finish and what a crazy day it would be for Kreider. Obviously going through all the emotions, getting tied up in that first wreck, then having to make green flag pit stop there. He ends up going a lap down, then throughout those pit cycles goes 2 laps down, able to race his way back onto 1 lap down, gets the lucky dog here during our stage stage 2 caution flag break, our second caution flag of the day. And for the 5 ride, he's back on the lead lap. He's going to get those fresh tires onto this race car, and he's going to get ready to rumble here once again and see if he can put himself right back into the battle here for that championship. As we did see, Jordan Hand ended up beating Brian Underwood out of pit lane there, so good move for Jordan Hand down pit side. He'll now be the control car here on this restart with Brian Underwood there in second. Let's see if we can get one of these drivers up here into the booth real quick. Let's see if we can get maybe Underwood up here really quickly. Hey, Brian, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. You get a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, Brian, I'm not going to keep you long as I do see the lights turned off that pace car, brother. But so far here tonight, obviously qualifying on the pole, leading a bunch of laps. That bang number 6 ride looks good, man. How do you feel about your chances to pick up this championship here this evening?
Yeah, it don't mean anything now. Obviously, somebody ran out of talent on lap 1 and took the other 3 out, but here they are right by me. So it's just make sure we don't make no mistakes and keep it clean, and just try to set ourselves up for the the final 10-15 laps, and after the hopefully a green flag stop and pull off a victory. Maybe we'll have to see.
Absolutely. Well, we look forward to it and hopefully see her right back up here in the broadcast booth as either our champion here this evening or one of our amazing drivers up on the podium. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, give it up there for Brian Underwood as Brian right now picking up stage win number 1 and number 2. They don't really mean anything, but just showing you that he's got a pretty good car, a pretty solid drive, but obviously having 3 of the other championship 4 drivers running into early issues there on lap number 1. Now he's got them right there to his outside, and Jordan Hand does have that race lead, so Jordan able to put his foot down onto the throttle here. He's looking to try and run away with this one. Hand came into this race with a bunch of confidence. He felt very, very good here at Auto Club Speedway. And now look at the 18 ride. Noah Blackwell going for a big run there to the outside groove. He quickly gets to the back bumper of the 11 machine as Hand slides up the racetrack. Now here comes Aiden Lucas. Lucas down low. He was one of the most dominating cars on the season here as that 20 ride to start this year. Man, he had so much speed, won so many races, and now here he is looking to try to win the final one, knowing that it could give him this championship here this year. So Aiden and Jordan battling right here, and you do see Brian Underwood unfortunately kind of getting consumed a little deeper in the pack here as he's now battling door to door with the 72 right at Jonathan Gaston for that 4th position on the racetrack. A little farther back, you do see Josh Kreider trying to race his way back up towards the front here, trying to put himself back into contention for that championship. He's got a little bit of a gap between himself and our top 10 is Danny White right there in that 10th position, but it's all Jordan Hand. His Hand out in front, continuing to lead the way. Is there 3 wide back there behind him. This is a tough spot to be if you're Aiden Lucas in the middle of 3 wide, down and off of corner number 4, but they're all going to drive it nice and easy straight down the front straightaway and back into corner number 1. They're still 3 wide back there for 3rd. And it's Jonathan Gasson with some great moves, some great runs up there on that outside lane, and here he is trying to race his way up to the point here, looking to try to put himself up and into victory lane here this evening. Honestly, Gaston not a part of the championship 4, but still could win this race and put himself up and into the Auto Club Speedway victory lane here this evening. And I think for the Old Dogs Racing ride, that's exactly what he wants to do. And Dylan Carrier, he wants to be right there doing that exact same thing as he's back up inside the top 3 here on the Speedway. Some absolutely amazing racing action here. Is down across the line. They'll complete lap number 57. We got 43 laps of racing action left to go here this evening. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what we want you guys to do right now is crank up that volume and cheer on your favorite drivers as we crank it up here on Peacemaker Gaming and give you the sights and sounds for the final time here on the year with the Premium Stock Car Racing League. Alrighty, give it up for all these drivers. A beautiful crank it up session out there on the speedway as these drivers cranked it up for the final time here this season with the Premium Stock Car Racing League. You do take a look at the 20 ride. That is Aiden Lucas. Lucas now out in front leading this race. He was able to drive his way up here to the front of the field. Now has control of this feature event and right now leads all of our championship competitors out there on the speedway. So for right now, it's Aiden Lucas's race to potentially lose as some drivers already starting to make those green flag pit stops. We did see Dylan Carrier head down pit side. Same with Brian Underwood. He's the first of our championship 4 to come down pit road here. So that could be a major blessing, could be a major pain late in this race. We'll have to wait and see if Brian Underwood can use these fresh tires to his advantage. And we're going to have to wait and see how long he's going to be able to use them for as we do see Josh Kreider head down pit side. So Kreider down pit road now, another one of our championship 4 competitors. Makes that pit stop here. He's the farthest back running driver there out of our championship 4. Now headed down pit side. He's the second one to come down pit road. So could be kind of in the middle of the strategy here. It's Aiden Lucas and Jordan Hand run first and second on the racetrack. Now, we'll have to wait and see when they elect to come down pit side. If they want to run a little bit longer, have those better tires later in this race compared to right now, or if they want to just kind of stay even with Kreider and Underwood and not have them leapfrog them and they don't have to try to hunt them down. But I feel like their strategy is going to be to kind of run out another, probably 4 or 5 laps, maybe 6 laps, get to around that lap 80 area where we only got 20 laps left in this race. Head down pit side and then use those fresh tires for that final 20 laps to their advantage to hunt down all the drivers that are going to leapfrog them here on this strategy to try to put themselves up and in to victory lane here this evening, or potentially into the championship here this year. As right now, Aiden Lucas looking more like his early season style of racing, as Aiden won 4 races in a row, 5 races in a row early in the year. Now here he is looking to try to battle right back and try to put himself back up into victory lane, as you did see Jonathan Gaston, James Efa, they were both just down pit road. Now we do see Wyatt Mickelson, Melvin Brengruer, Ryan Haller, they head down pit road here. So 3 more drivers head down pit side. As of right now, there's only 5 other drivers that have yet to make this potential final pit stop of the season here on the racetrack, because we did see unfortunate contact there for Ben Gleason. I'm not sure what happened here to Gleason. Watching this gray and black 66 right down the front straightaway, all of a sudden the car just hooks a hard left. It's like his game crashed or something, drives him down into that inside fence. Unfortunately there, heavy damage. Looks like his night may be done there for that 66 ride. And luckily enough for everybody else, no caution flag there for that wreck, and we kept it clean and green. So good break there for everyone to try to figure out and make this more of a driver's race. It's in their hands. It's into their strategy on how they can try to pick up this win, as you do see Brian Underwood. Underwood is now in front of Aiden Lucas and Jordan Hand here. So he's able to use those fresh tires and everything else to drive right around them, put himself back onto the lead lap, and now pulling away from them. And now every lap that Aiden and Jordan stay out there on the racetrack, it's more time that they are giving up to that 6 ride and the 5 ride of Josh Kreider out there on the speedway. Every single lap, every second could matter out there on the racetrack. If they fall a little bit too short here and too far behind a couple of these drivers like Kreider or Brian Underwood, their championship hopes may come a little bit short here this evening. They may have faster cars later in the run, but at the same point in time, they may still be a couple seconds back and not close enough to make moves and try to put themselves into the championship winning move here today. So we'll have to wait and see how this strategy is all going to play out, as we did see Danny White, Farrell Robbins, and Grant Applegate come down pit road there. So 3 more of our drivers out there on the racetrack head down pit side. Now Aiden Lucas and Jordan Hand are the only 2 drivers yet to come down pit road, yet to make this final pit stop. You can see how much slower they are compared to the fresh tires out there on the racetrack, as they are just steamrolling right on around them out there on the racetrack, including Josh Kreider, one of our other Championship 4 competitors, now moving around and putting himself back onto the lead lap. Definitely going to make him feel a little bit more confident if we were to see a late race caution flag, but as of right now for the 5 ride, he rolls here in that 6th position. He knows that Aiden Lucas and Jordan Hand are going to have to come down pit road here, and we'll have to wait and see how long they wait, as they are going to stay out for another lap down across the line. Our race leaders stay out here for at least another lap here, completing lap number 79 here on the evening. So we got virtually about 80 or 21 laps left here in this season. 21 laps left in the race, 21 laps left in this season, and we'll have to wait and see when these two decide and elect to come down pit road. Now, everyone else, a lot of these other drivers that have been working themselves around them, like Dylan Carrier, Brian Underwood, Noah Blackwell, they were down pit road on lap number 71. For Josh Kreider, he was down pit side there on lap number 73. So even if they were to come down pit side this time, which they are not, as they will complete lap number 80, there's 20 laps left in this race. They're going to have about 9 laps, 7 lap better tires here, but every lap that they don't use those fresh tires is the farther and farther ahead that some of these other drivers are going to be pulling away from them here. So it's going to be interesting to see kind of where the strategy ends up playing out for them, and if they can have enough time to battle back and race their way back up here. If they wait 3-4 more laps, man, they could be, a second quicker, 2 seconds quicker than a lot of these other drivers out there on the speedway. But in that same factor, they're going to have to pass a lot more cars here again. They're going to have to pass a lot of other cars. They're going to have to try to navigate through some traffic and try to battle their way back into the action here. We'll have to wait and see if that strategy is going to play out for them or not. As Dylan Carrier, he would consume this race lead. Brian Underwood would be technically in second once Aiden Lucas and Jordan Hand come down pit side. Now they got about 4 seconds between themselves and Josh Kreider. Now Kreider does have about 2 lap better tires than Brian Underwood, but he's got to make up about 4 seconds here, the gap between himself and Underwood. That could be virtually a battle for the championship here this season. If Kreider can catch Underwood, maybe make the pass from him, and they can keep Aiden Lucas and Jordan Hand back there at bay, then potentially it could put them into the winning strategy here this evening for this championship. As Aiden Lucas, Jordan Hand still not coming down pit side. 82 laps completed, 18 laps left to go. When do they pull the trigger? When is too far before they come down pit road? Do they roll to lap number 85, come down pit road with only 15 laps in this race? Do they gain enough time in 15 laps to catch up and pass all these drivers and race their way back to the front of the field? It's gonna get very, very interesting, chat. And for Aiden Lucas and Jordan Hand, it's right now, this championship could be in their hands or out of their hands. It's totally up to their strategy out there on the speedway and how they want to run it and race it here for that championship here this year. And for Underwood and Josh Kreider, they've made their bed. They've came down pit road. They've got the older tires now. And for those two drivers, they're just trying to maybe duke it out amongst each other, as Underwood able to keep that gap to about 3.5 seconds or so between himself and Josh Kreider. So hasn't really gained too much, hasn't really fallen too far back there to the 5 ride. And now if I'm Underwood, I feel like I want to start saving right here. Save tires, allow Kreider to try to hunch it down, as here comes Jordan Hand. Hand's going to come down pit side. He leaves Aiden Lucas high and dry. Aiden stays out for another lap. Jordan Hand comes down pit road. So our third Championship 4 driver to finally make their green flag pit stop here late in this race, potentially their final pit stop on the season here. And Jordan Hand will have to wait and see kind of where he comes out and how much time he's got to make up, and if he can make that time up quick enough to put himself into, the championship winning move. We'll have to wait and see. Aiden Lucas, we'll see if he comes down pit road this next time, as obviously these drivers, they're going to need a lot of time and a lot of speed to try to put themselves back up to the front of the field here. Now here comes Aiden. Aiden this time coming down into pit road. So Aiden Lucas and Jordan Hand making their pit stops. We do see Jordan Hand starting to roll back out there as of right now. He scored back at about the 10th position here on the speedway. Ryan Haller right here, he's got that speed momentum going to go around him, so Haller will move up into 10th. Jordan Hand back into 11th as he exits the pit lane and back onto the speedway here now. Looking at the timing, he is about 15 seconds behind Dylan Carrier. 15 seconds behind our race leader now, as Carrier now out in front will consume this race lead. Brian Underwood right there in second. Now Underwood still has about that 3.5, 3.6 seconds between himself and Josh Kreider. So Kreider really hasn't been able to catch too much on him here the last couple laps. So we'll have to wait and see how that battle is going to play out. And now for Brian Underwood, good news for him and that his teammate Grant Applegate here is trying to actually make his move around Josh Kreider. Applegate's got about 4 lap better tires than that 5 ride, so that could slow Kreider up even more here on the speedway as down across the line. Dylan Carrier will click off lap number 86, and we got 14 laps left in this race. Aiden Lucas, though, does come out in front of Jordan Hand here, so Aiden does have that race lead, but Jordan Hand right down to his inside. Now these two, even though they're teammates, they're still running and hunting down this championship amongst each other. And now for both of them, I think what they really need to do is probably not battle back here with each other. They need to just kind of get together, roll out there, and try to close the gap and hunt down all these drivers in front of them, as if they continue to battle door to door, they're not going to gain much time, and they're just going to wear out their equipment before even making up ground and trying to see if this strategy works out for them here. As Dylan Carrier out in front of the field here, leading the way, nice and easy down across the line. We'll click off another lap. Underwood right there with him. Applegate has made his way now around Josh Kreider, so Kreider back into 4th here with Applegate there in 3rd. Jonathan Gaston back in position number 5. Here comes Blackwell as well. There in position number 6. Melvin Brangrew back in 7th with Wyatt Mickelson there in 8th. Now we see Jordan Hand. He's back here in position number 9. Last time around, Jordan Hand ran virtually a 40-26. Compared to our race leaders of Dylan Carrier and Brian Underwood, but there's some contact there. The 18 ride's turned around. Oh, baby, that's going to bring up the caution flag. Late race yellow here as the 18 rider Noah Blackwell, who was running just outside the top 5 here, run into some problems here. Sends it down onto the apron. I don't know what happens to this car, but it just all of a sudden shoots down to the left, almost the same as what we saw with Ben Gleason there before this wave of green flag pit stops. Now lucky break for Jordan Hand and Aiden Lucas as they were able to miss and avoid contact there with that 18 ride, as it just looks like out of corner number 2. It's almost like he just loses connection too or something. I don't know. The car just pulls hard to the left and just continues to pull to the left before he ends up hitting that pit wall or inside wall, and then just washes back up the track into the fence there. Luckily enough, it does come to a stop. Everyone else is able to avoid the Interstate Batteries number 18 ride. Okay, maybe not everybody else, as the 76 ride sees him, tears him up right there. I'm not sure if anyone else ends up getting into this one again, as you do see Danny White and the 88 both trying to get through here, whereas Danny just going to be able to avoid that number 76 ride. You see the 88 scraping the wall, trying to avoid it as well. Luckily enough, no damage there for him. I don't know how Farrell Robbins got in here and got into this number 18 ride. I think he had, I don't know how long he had here to try to decipher where to go and how to miss this. But nonetheless, he just tees him up. He's sitting there in the middle of the track right here, and yeah, Danny's just going to kill him. Not Danny, sorry, that's Farrell Robbins. Farrell's just going to say, you know what? I've had enough this season. I want to get a little payback. I'm going to make sure that the 18 rod feels this one, and takes himself out in the process there. So, all right. Pit stops now underway. Now things get very, very interesting as you see Jordan Hand roll out of the pits here in the top spot. Ryan Haller comes out in 2nd. Brian Underwood there in 3rd. Applegate, Dylan Carrier, Melvin Brangrew, Jonathan Gaston there in 7th. Kreider comes out in position number 8 here. A bit of a slow pit stop there for that 5 ride as Kreider will come out in 8th. Wyatt Mickelson back in 9th. Aiden Lucas comes out in 10th. Then we see James Efa, Danny White, Noah Blackwell, Farrell Robbins down pit side. Ben Gleason down and potentially out of this race, as it does look like he has not came back out since his issue there around lap number 67. But for Jordan Hand, obviously able to make a quick pit stop right there. Now, I don't know if he maybe just took fuel only or maybe got 2 tires right there to beat some of these drivers off of pit road, but nonetheless, as Noah comes into the chat, says game crash. That is a heartbreaker there for you. NJB Designs, Mr. Noah Blackwell. Never a fun time. Never good having those game crashes and running into those issues. And obviously now playing a major factor into who could potentially win this championship here as the Premium Stock Car Racing League gets down to its final 10 laps of the season. 10 laps from now, we will crown a champion here and maybe a feature winner that maybe hasn't won a race this year or hasn't won in a while. We don't know how that's going to play out, but you don't have to win this race to win the championship. If you're one of those championship 4, all you got to do is beat the other 3 drivers, and you will be crowned our champion, whether you come home in first, second, third, 6 on the racetrack. As long as those other 3 championship 4 competitors are behind you, you will be crowned our champion. As it's winner take all here, it's the driver out in front that gets the crown here today. As Jordan Hand, Ryan Hall are going to get ready for this restart. It's Applegate there in position number 4 on the back bumper of his number 11 teammate there. Their other teammate there, the 6th rider, Brian Underwood. He's another one of our Championship 4 competitors there. He'll restart in the 3rd position just behind the 19-9 riders. Now you do see Dylan Carrier. What in the world is happening here? Did Carrier's game just crash? Did it just crash? Banglese said game crash for me too. Oh no, we figured that's kind of what happened to you, Ben. That's exactly what it looked like, and it looks like it may have claimed a 3rd driver here. As all of a sudden, under the caution flag, the 31 just pulls hard to the left here and down into the inside fence, and it looks like potentially Dylan Carrier's game crashing here again this evening. So that's going to make things even more interesting as here we go back to green flag racing. 9 laps left to go here in our championship race as the 11 of Jordan Hand gets a great shove from his teammate Grant Applegate. Applegate helps push that Oklahoma City Thunder number 11 ride out in front, but here comes some big moves. Brian Underwood, Josh Kreider there, touching down the back straightaway. Now here comes Aiden Lucas right into that battle as well. Aiden right there onto their back bumper. This is the other 3 championship drivers trying to hunt down that 11 rider Jordan Hand, hoping to try to put them back behind them here. They're looking to try to race their way up and into this championship. We'll have to wait and see if Brian Underwood can battle his way back to the front. Can Josh Kreider find his way up there? They're still right there. They're tight together. 3 wide down across the pit exit right there. My gosh, I don't know how they have not wrecked yet. And you do see Underwood get right there close to the back bumper of his teammate of Jordan Hand. But there's contact back behind him, and the caution flag will come back out. Caution flag back out on the speedway as the 99 ride of Ryan Haller are going to run into some problems here late in this race. And that's going to send us into a very, very close call here to NASCAR overtime as we watch the 99 send it into the corner. Just looks like the rear end steps out and around on him there. A tough break there for the 99 as he has to lock him up. He's sideways there on the racetrack. The officials making the call, throwing that caution flag out there on the speedway. So another caution flag late in this race. Cautions breeding cautions here, and a couple late race caution flags really to spice up the season here this year for Jordan Hand. I don't know if he wanted to see that or he didn't, as now Brian Underwood will be right there with him. Underwood scored in position number 2. Applegate there in 3rd. Josh Kreider up and into 4th with Aiden Lucas there in 5th. So all 4 of our championship 4 drivers inside our top 5 here this evening as Dr. Relief, that's Dylan Carrier, comes into the chat, says, I swear it only crashes on Saturdays, bro. I've been racing all week. I even tested where I left a AI race up for 8 hours and didn't crash. Like, what the he says, what the I don't know, brother. I don't know what to tell you, man. Maybe iRacing just hates you. Maybe they just hate you, and don't want you to have a good run here ever again in the Premium Stock Car Racing League. I don't know what it is, but obviously having this issue on a consistent basis is not a good thing, and it's very, very tough. And obviously other drivers dealing with that here tonight as well. As you're not the only one, man. We saw Noah Blackwell and Ben Gleason also have their games crash and also get wrecked out there on the racetrack, and I do believe both their nights are now done as well. So for three of our competitors, obviously having those issues late in this race and having those problems, taking them out of this action here this evening is a heartbreaker. Luckily enough, that's none of our Championship 4 drivers, so none of our Championship drivers have to concede the championship in that fashion as of now, knock on wood. We don't want to jinx any of those guys, but for Jordan Hand, Brian Underwood, Josh Kreider and Aiden Lucas, they're going to be looking to duke it out here for that championship. You throw Grant Applegate right into the mix here as all four of the Redemption Motorsports cars here inside the top 5. 3 of them battling for that championship, the 11, the 6, and the 20 ride, all a part of that championship 4. Josh Kreider, he's there in position number 4. He's that number 5 car. He sits there in that 4th position. It's kind of a lone wolf out there on the speedway right now for that Rubbered Up Productions number 5 ride, as unfortunately 4 teammates, 3 of his championship competitors, all here around him and all looking to try to beat him here this evening, is definitely going to make it very, very tough here on that 5 ride. I don't think Kreider is going to get a whole lot of room, a whole lot of, give and take out there. He could get roughed up in a quick hurry here, as I know, Underwood, Hand, Aiden Lucas, Applegate, they want to see one of their drivers, one of their teammates pick up this championship here this season. So for Josh Kreider, he's going to have to try to just squeeze through there and see if he can make the right moves at the right time and try to steal this one away from them here this year. It's going to be a tough thing to do, but it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. As Lonnie Kreider, Lonnie says, "This is great. I love it," he says. "We love it. Then you love it, Lonnie." We're glad you're here watching and cheering these drivers on, and we appreciate you and all your amazing support, your amazing opening commands week after week after week. Lonnie, Uncle Lonnie, we appreciate you and love you, man, and can't thank you enough for being a part of the Premium Stock Car Racing League. We can't thank our sponsors enough as well, all of our other amazing sponsors here throughout the season and previous seasons here, making this all come to life here week after week after week. And our next season just around the corner here, only a couple days or a couple weeks away here. They're going to take probably a week or 2 off, and then they're going to run a couple recruitment races, so probably a month or so, and we'll be back in action here. We'll be back up into the booth and putting on some more great races for, I do believe, season number 6 here with the Premium Stock Car Racing League. Here we go. Late in this race, it will be a 4-lap shootout. Binding, we see another caution flag here late in this race. It should be 4 laps to figure out who will be our champion here in Season 5 of the Premium Stock Car Racing League. It's nice and easy. Down through the Geico restart zone, Jordan Hand has the control here. He's the control car. He's hoping to get a good shove here. Some good pushes from the 5 ride of Josh Kreider. Is Kreider going to try to push him out in front and hope that's trying to stay right there in position number 2 with him, but there's contact between him and the 6 ride once again. Here comes Underwood down low. Underwood with a big run, sends it deep down low under the 11, now washes up to the high side. Now Hand and Kreider door to door for position number 2. Kreider with a big run though, gets to the inside here of Brian Underwood. Underwood now has Kreider down to the inside. Here comes Josh Kreider down low, looking to steal this race lead and potentially the championship here this year. Aiden Lucas now into position number 4 and looking for more, as this is our championship 4 drivers all up inside our top 4 on the racetrack right now. Fitting that they would be here at the end to compete in battle for this championship, as Brian Underwood way up to the high side here into corner number 1. He's looking for a big run, a big drive here to try to pull out in front and clear that 5 right of Josh Kreider. Kreider going to do everything he can, though. Trying to side drive, trying to stick right there to the inside of that 6 machine as he'll deep drive it deep down low as here comes Jordan Hand. Here comes Aiden Lucas. They're trying to battle their way right back into this fight at the front of the field here. Obviously, some different pit strategies, some different pit maneuvers out there for these drivers, and obviously now all 4 of our championship 4, they can see how their runs are going with 2 laps left to go. Who will get it done? Who will be that champion? As here comes Brian Underwood, nice and easy out in front. He's got 2 laps left to be the double champ here this season, as he won the championship last year, and here he is trying to win back-to-back championships as he leads us down into corner number 3. Nice and easy down through corner number 4 here at Auto Club Speedway. Jordan Hand, Aiden Lucas back there in tow. Aiden looking for the move down low underneath of that 11 ride. Jordan Hand going to throw a couple blocks as they all push and shove back down across the line. We will see that white flag here on the racetrack. Our final lap of the season as Underwood looking to try to pick up that championship, but Josh Kreider trying to size him up, trying to figure out a way to beat him here and potentially try to steal this championship away from that 6th ride. As Kreider going to slide down just in front of Jordan Hand. They're pushing, they're shoving down the back straightaway for the final time. Here comes Kreider down low. Kreider sends it in there deep, looking to the inside of Brian Underwood, looking to try to drag race him back down to the start-finish line, but Brian Underwood out of corner number 4 will lead us back down and across the line as Brian Underwood will pick up the championship here again this year. Back-to-back championships here for Brian Underwood as he is able to pick up the Premium Stock Car Racing League championship win here at Auto Club Speedway to close out Season 5 here this year, man. What a run and what a drive there by Brian Underwood in picking up back-to-back championships, man. What an absolutely amazing performance by all these drivers. When we look back through this race, Underwood qualified in that pole position, led a bunch of laps early in this race, firstly the first 35 laps of this race, and led a bunch more there in the closing laps. But at the same point in time, we saw Josh Kreider, Jordan Hand, Aiden Lucas all run into problems off the opening lap. They all have problems. They all end up collected in our opening lap wreck out of corner number 4. Kreider ends up with quite a bit of damage. Jordan Hand ends up with damage. Aiden Lucas ends up with damage. Now Jordan Hand and Aiden Lucas both use their quick repairs, stay on the lead lap, stay in contention. The 5 right of Josh Kreider ends up trying to get that car repaired, has to make a green flag pit stop, unscheduled green flag pit stop, falls a lap down, almost 2 laps down. Through some green flag pit stops, does go 2 laps down, but able to race his way late before stage 2 comes to an end to put himself back to 1 lap down, and then stage 2 comes to a close. He gets the lucky dog, the wave around back onto the lead lap there at the halfway marker of this race, and then through the second half of this race, races his way back up there and puts himself into contention here for that championship, man. A heck of a run for him, and coming up just that little bit shy here in position number 2 this evening is Brian Underwood, though, able to just to run that picture perfect race and being able to pick up the back-to-back championships. The double champ does whatever the he wants as we'll get ready to pull Brian Underwood, Kreider, Jordan Hand, and Aiden Lucas, our top 4, not only in the championship, but our top 4 out there on the racetrack here this evening, up and into the booth to see what they've got to say about tonight's performance. Hey, Brian, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. They get a copy?
Yes, sir. Gotcha.
Brian, brother, what a run, what a race, man. Take us back through this one, and how do you feel right now as you're able to celebrate here at Auto Club, not only as our race winner, but also as our back-to-back champion here in the Premium Stock Car Racing League?
Yeah, I mean, like I've preached, man, consistency, and I mean, it paid off. It was great racing there with everybody there on the last restarts there. You know, people lagging out, bringing out the caution, and just made the racing a little bit, I mean, it had to been a great race to call. Because originally, I mean, it was going to be strategy. Was Aiden and Jordan going to be able to catch me and Josh? and then it turned into, well, who's going to be able to outrun who in a little dash. So I mean, it's a blessing, man. Yeah, just come out here Saturday nights to have fun, and just pulling off a back to back is, I mean, amazing. But in the end, I just do it for the fun. And yeah, the race was just pretty wild. It went my way early and kind of went away from me, and then I had to make an adjustment after I got wheel damage and went a different way, and got lucky with Jordan taking two there. He just didn't have the grip, and I was able to take the lead before Josh, because I think it would have been either or of us. Whoever controlled the outside on the short runs, man, it was pretty hard to pass.
Yeah, definitely a tough place to pass. Obviously, grip always something that you want out there on the speedway. And for Jordan Hand, he knew his pit was kind of made. Obviously, he had a couple laps there on the older tires after making his green flag pit stop. If he would have waited a little bit longer, maybe he would have held on a little bit better there. But obviously, having a few green flag laps on the other side there of the two-tire strategy, and then obviously just using that to his advantage, coming down pit side, being able to jump out in front. It looked like maybe it would work out for him. Maybe if we didn't see that second caution flag there late in the race, maybe it would have played out for him. But man, it was a heck of a show between you four. Obviously, the championship forfeiting that you guys would all be up there inside the top five, inside the top four there late in this race, duking it out for this championship, and for yourself to be able to just edge out in front there, steal that top spot away from Jordan Hand, and keep Josh Kreider back there at bay late in this race, man, and put yourself up into victory lane. It was a storybook finish. It was a movie out there, man. It was absolute pure cinema, and it's great to talk to you not only back up here in the booth again tonight after, winning the pole position here and winning, I do believe, both stages on the day. I know points aren't really a big thing, but just showing how good your car was virtually all evening long.
Yeah, just midway through the season, I knew I had to kind of click in gear like I did last season, and I don't know how many consecutive podium finishes I got, but it seems like since I think Daytona Road, so I've been on a roll, and I mean I had to be, because I feel like the final six were really good. I mean, there's some pretty good talent in the league. Um, I felt like anybody could have won this race going in. I mean, it showed it. Josh had a great shot there. Jordan was really good on the long runs, and Aiden, he was definitely flexing his muscle as well throughout the race. So it was just trying to keep it clean and just try to survive. And yeah, I mean, it's a blast.
Absolutely. It's always a blast out there. It's always a blast up here in the booth watching you guys duke it out. Brian, for the final time here this season, man, who would you like to thank not only as our race winner, but as our champion here in season number 5 with the Premium Stock Car Racing League?
Yeah, I mean, I got to thank you putting the show on each week. Definitely do a great job. And the second biggest thing is obviously all the drivers that show up. All the drivers tonight race with respect. Definitely gave a lot of the playoff drivers a little extra room, it seemed like there at the end. So very appreciative of that. They definitely let us kind of fight it out. And then, all my teammates, man, it's good to have us together, because, man, we're so aggressive. And we definitely, I feel like we got each other better throughout the season. And I mean, all the sponsors as well, between Reese Telva, Dylan Carrier, and then Ryan Holler and Lonnie Kreider. And I think I'm missing one, but I can't pinpoint it. But I like I said, every week it's a collective effort to make us as good as we are. And hopefully we come back next season kicking a little harder.
Absolutely, brother, and we cannot wait to be back up here in the booth watching you guys duke it out there and see how another season will play out and finish off there for Season 6 of the Premium Stock Car Racing League. And maybe we'll see you right back up here, maybe going for another championship and trying to make it a three-peat.
Yeah, I mean, that's the goal. But like I said, I just ultimately just having fun with the boys on a Saturday night.
Absolutely, and we love that, Brian, and we love seeing you up here celebrating, picking up the win, picking up the championship, and we can't wait to see you back out there on the racetrack, brother. Enjoy the rest of your night, enjoy this victory, and we'll see you back here in a few short weeks.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our race winner and our champion here with the Premium Stock Car Racing League. It's Brian Underwood, the underdog. The Cinderella story again here this year comes in and wins this championship race and picks up back-to-back championships here in the Premium Stock Car Racing League. What a run and what a drive there for him, and what a performance by all these amazing drivers as we'll get ready now to pull in our second place finisher. It's Josh Kreider. Josh comes home in position number 2 here this evening. What a miraculous comeback there for Josh Kreider. Let's see if we can get him up here into the booth. We got the webcam turned on. Let's get Josh up here into the booth right now. Hey Josh, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. You got a copy?
Yeah.
Josh, brother, a disappointing finish to this race for you, man, but you got to be somewhat happy about not only how your season went, but how this race, at least finished off for you. Obviously, started off the worst way it could have. We talked about it throughout the evening, obviously, tying up in that first wreck, and then coming down pit side a couple times there during the caution flag, and then as we went back to green flag racing, we saw you make the green flag pit stop as well there, which ends up putting you a lap down. You're right there on the edge of going 2 laps down. Luckily enough, you're able to keep yourself in that lap down position. No one else falls a lap behind. You're able to get that lucky dog there halfway through this race, and then since that point you just battle your way back into contention here for this championship here this year, and you fall up just 1 spot short of it here this evening, man. Take us back through this race and through the emotions that you're going to be feeling out there on the speedway here today.
I mean, is there anything else to say? I finished second in the championship, and I got taken out in the first lap, so I don't have, there's nothing else to say about that. There's no feel good story. There's no hoorah or great run. There's I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, definitely sucks. Definitely a disappointing day for yourself, obviously having to battle back from that and battle through that adversity. Obviously, Jordan Hand, Aiden Lucas also getting tied up in that, having to battle back as well, and just kind of giving Brian Underwood that little bit of a step up, that little bit of an advantage here all evening long. And then late in this race, though, those late race caution flags kind of balanced things out, and it was fitting watching, yourself and Brian, Jordan, Aiden all up inside the top 4 there, duking it out here late in this race for the championship.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it was great TV. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Absolutely. Well, Josh, one more time here for the season, brother. Who would you like to thank for your great performance and great year here in the Premium Stock Car Racing League?
Thank you, Uncle Lonnie, for sponsoring the league and watching and being their number 1 fan out here every week and doing the command. Thank you to I don't have any teammates. If you called my teammate wrecking me on the first lap, well, great job on that. So I mean, I was outnumbered 3-1 by the Redemption guys because they got a overpowered team that needs to be looked at from there, which is absolutely stupid to begin with. So I mean, racing 3-on-1 with those guys, I drove as hard as I could. I was 2 laps down, and I just thank you everybody for watching at home. And Aaron, another good season of broadcasting. Thank you for that. Thank you to Kirsten Mai and the Dash for Cash, the Rolling Wieners, and Ethan and Garrett for watching. And they sent me a special message before the race, so they're big fans of mine. And I wanted to win this so bad because I know this is probably my last opportunity to get in the Final 4 with the way things are going to go. We're raising the iRating cap next season, so we'll have drivers like Matthew and such back, and I don't have a freaking chance against those guys. So congrats to Brian. Fell on his lap, so I think the Jordan had the best car. So at least Jordan didn't finish second this season. you can avoid those jokes. But I'm sorry to Jordan. I'm sorry to Aiden the way it played out there. I think they had the best run. Just iRacing's got this stupid glitch where people just their crap just quits on them, and it completely changed the impact. It benefited me, but I wasn't the rifle champion, so I don't know. I should have wrecked him. I should have wrecked him for the championship, but I mean, whatever. It is what it is. It's my last opportunity. I shouldn't be here to begin with. I shouldn't be racing with everything that I've been through with surgery and pushing my body really hard. And it sounds stupid, but it's a lot to run these things. So I'm just thankful for everybody that watched. I'm thankful to all the drivers. We had amazing car count all season. We had amazing green flag rate. I'm thankful to everybody, and I'll shut up now so Jordan can come do his interview. But thank you again to Lonnie and all of our sponsors. Stepped up this season. I know that Brian mentioned him in a big way, and he really helped us financially. So thank you to that and everybody that helped. So yeah, appreciate it.
Absolutely, brother. Well, Josh, heartbreaker here for you today, and we can't wait to see you guys back in action, and hopefully still see you be able to compete, have some good runs, and have some trips back up here into the broadcast booth there for Season 6 of the Premium Stock Car Racing League. Hate how it finished off here for you tonight, but hopefully, brighter days in the future here for you in the next season.
Yep, thanks.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your night. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, give it up there for our second place finisher here this evening. Not only second in the race, but second here in the championship, falling one spot shy of both here this evening. As Josh Kreiner, you can hear the disappointment, not very happy about going home second here. Obviously not winning the race, not winning the championship. Not a happy place to be in. I'm sure Jordan Hand may be in that same boat as Jordan comes home here in position number 3. Let's bring Jordan up here and see what he's got to say. Hey, Jordan, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. To get a copy?
Yes, sir.
Jordan, man, a solid run. Great drive here for you all evening long. Obviously, some very interesting strategy there late in the race. And then all of a sudden, just shortly after you guys make your green flag pit stops, you and Aiden, all of a sudden, those, late race caution flags come out and bite you in the butt here. Obviously, trying to play some strategy, gain some track position out there. And it just doesn't quite play out for you here late in this season, man. Take us back through the race and what's kind of going through your mind right now after being tied up in that wreck on the first lap, and then here late in the race trying to stick with it and trying to put yourself into a position to win this championship.
Yeah, man, it just got put behind the 8 ball the entire night, it felt like. So gotta give Brian props, get the pole, and I really didn't think the pole was gonna be that big of an advantage tonight, but after the first lap wreck, I guess it was, right? So we fought back up there and did best we could. I definitely feel like I was the best car in the long run. Just had the worst luck, man. I don't know. I thought we were going to be sitting good in the strategy, to be honest with you. And then cautions just kept coming out. It's just unfortunate, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Very unfortunate caution flags there late in the race, and obviously unfortunate issues early on here for you, and obviously all those bad things going wrong for you here this evening, and it just puts you back behind the ball, and they're late in the race. Obviously, short run, tight out there, just trying to hang on to that race lead. And a whole lot you could do to the 4 fresh tires as you watch Brian Underwood drive down underneath of you. You watch that 5 Ryder Kreider roll up and around you on the high side, and you gotta just kind of sit back and watch it happen and watch those two duke it out for the championship.
Yeah, that was pretty much my only strategy I could do at that point when that last caution came out. We didn't run too many laps, but Auto Club, they're gonna wear no matter if it's 1 lap or 2, right? So, but that caution just came out at the worst time, and me and Aiden, we had a couple of buffer cars in front of us. We were definitely faster then, but I felt like if we would have took 4, I don't think we would have even had a shot, to be honest with you. Him and Brian and Josh probably would have just checked out. But you got to gamble. You got to go for the championship, and I would rather go out trying as hard as I can than to give it up, right? So it's just unfortunate, but I'm glad teammate won, and I'm happy on that one, and I'm glad it was clean, and definitely disappointed, but what can you say, man?
Absolutely, brother. Not much else you can say, but Jordan, for the final time here this season, man, who would you like to thank for another solid run and such a great season altogether here in Season 5 of the Premium Stock Car Racing League?
Just all my teammates, man. I mean, like I said, we all push each other to be better. I definitely think we did that. Um, it's a great team. I love all the guys. I don't know what's going to happen next year, if we're going to be on the same team or not, but we'll see what happens and go from there. And just want to say thank you to Josh and Brian for putting on the league, and thank you to all the guys that came out and raced tonight. We had a good time.
Absolutely, brother. It looked like a lot of fun out there. Obviously, a lot of different strategies and adversities here, and a short fallings for yourself once again for that championship. Obviously, trying to finally pick one up after a couple of years of coming home in second. At least this year, you didn't come home second. You came home third, so they can't josh at you about coming home second again here in the championship race.
Yeah, well, it's just tough.
Yeah, definitely a tough night for you, Jordan, but hopefully the night gets a little bit better, and hopefully enjoy the rest of your evening, and hopefully, next season we'll see you right back up here having some fun and enjoying some victories and better days here on the broadcast.
Yes, sir. Sounds good. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your night.
You too, buddy.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our third place finisher, Jordan Hand. Hand comes home there in position number 3 here this evening. Obviously, another disappointed driver not winning that championship, but right there, tasting it, so close to it, but just could not get it done here today. But listen, we can't thank you guys enough for tuning in. All the fans in the stands that came in, showed up, and showed out, and put on a, just watched and enjoyed this amazing racing action here for our season finale with the Premium Stock Car Racing League. As Mr. Haller says, finished 8th in the final race. I'll take it. Great season, everyone. Congrats to Brian. Good season piece, and see you tomorrow. Yes, Sirski, we will see you tomorrow, Mr. Haller, and we'll see all of you guys back in here tomorrow. We got 2 big races. Obviously, we got our championship race with the Outcast Racing League tomorrow afternoon as well, so that's going to be a 3 o'clock matinee. 3 p.m. We'll get that one fired off here. It's going to be a long one, as it's a 200-lap Daytona International Speedway race, so a full-length Daytona 500 tomorrow afternoon that we're going to be doing. And then after that, we got the Wheel-to-Wheel Racing League to follow, so lots of racing action, a lot of great times here on Peacemaker Gaming. We can't wait to see you guys right back up in the grandstands cheering those drivers on, and we'll see you guys in there and hopefully showing the love. And we appreciate you guys all showing the love here this evening, all the likes, the comments, the shares, anyone just tuning in and watching here this evening. We appreciate each and every single one of you, and we will see you guys back here for more racing tomorrow, but we'll also hopefully see you guys back here for the Premium Stock Car Racing League, which will get back underway here in a few weeks' time. But thank you all for watching. Thank you all for tuning in. Huge shout out to all of our amazing sponsors here with the Premium Stock Car Racing League. Huge shout out to the Premium Stock Car Racing League for not only having me up in the booth here throughout the season, but also having me back into the booth for next season as well. So we can't wait to see them back in action and see how another year will play out here with the one of my most favorite leagues here on Peacemaker Gaming, and we can't wait to see all these drivers back in action and duking it out here once again on Saturday nights in a hopefully very short break. But thank you all for watching, thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see y'all later. Peace and love, babe. Peace and love, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey guys, my name is Harley with Prestige Enterprises. Not only are we a proud sponsor of the Powerhouse Motorsports, we're also proud to be one of the sponsors for Premier Stock Car Racing League. We provide our services to over 70% of the US, and we have a wide range of services, but our main focuses are custom homes, barn and shops, and commercial development. But it doesn't stop there. So pull out your phones and use this QR code on your screen to take a quick look at our website. We can't wait to make your dreams come true. Now that we have helped pay some bills, let's throw it back to you, Aaron.
Strapped in tight, ready, V8 symphony humming, tires screeching, engine screaming, speed demons coming. Gasoline guzzling, straight moving, track bruising, in the premium stock car, never losing. Pit crew wizards, quick as wizards, slick precision. Seconds matter, clock ticking, tight decisions. Drafting close, slingshot ghost, high speed ballet. Sipping victory, toasted champ, champagne spray. Fast lane, checker flags, racing through the turns. Pedal to the metal, dogging, tunnel vision, apex hunting, blind to the herd. Opponent's tailgating, pace firing absurd. Finally tuned monster, horsepower XL. Steering wheels grip like the gates to hell. Fast lanes, checkered flags, racing through the turns. Pedal to the metal, feel the rubber burn. Crowd roars, engine soar, high stakes, high gear. Champions breathe and destiny's near. Strapped in tight, Betty V8 symphony humming. Tires